Hi everybody, I'm back with a video. Today I want to do episode 3 of Kenobi, even though episode 4 is going to be released at midnight. And I know it's late for this review. Sorry, didn't mean to take so long. I tried to film it before and then I had some issues with storage space on my phone. So I had to split it and to film part of it on my phone. And iPads have cameras, so I filmed a little bit on my iPad, and I just didn't like that, so I am refilming it. Before I get started, I will do individual reviews for episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Kenobi, and then I thought I would sit down and rewatch the show, all 6 episodes, but not necessarily right now. I think maybe sometime in July or something like that, I'll sit down and watch the 6 episodes and really sit and think, do I still enjoy this show and all these other factors, and really kind of write out a better review, because this is more based off of what I just saw, initial reaction type of thing. Although it has been a while and I'm not necessarily initially reacting it, at least for episode 3. I think 1 and 2, I did do it a little closer in time when I filmed it. I haven't uploaded it yet as of right now. That's coming soon. It's all coming soon. Everything's coming soon. It's just taking me a while to actually commit to uploading videos, to be honest. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Before I do that, I just want to talk about something. It was announced that Obi Wan Kenobi was the most watched show to premiere on Disney Plus. I think that beats Loki, doesn't it? Right? I think that was originally the most watched Disney Plus series to air, which is fantastic. I love the fact that a show that's really heavily influenced by the prequels in particular, and has Hayden and Ewan back in the roles they played in the prequels, is fantastic, and I love that. That being said, unfortunately, there's a group of fans. It's not everybody, but there's a group of fans that have 100% been sending Moses Ingram, who plays Reva, or the third sister. She is referred to as both names in the show. Horrible messages. She's posted it in her Instagram stories. I had to look at this because I was looking at some of the things people are sending her. I'm like, what is your problem? I don't understand. I'm with Ewan McGregor. If you have an issue with someone being cast in Star Wars and that someone happens to be Black or Asian or Latino, and that's your issue with them because of that reason, you gotta go. I'm sorry. I can't see you wanting to be in Star Wars, involved in Star Wars. It should be for everybody. Yes, it's the Skywalker story, as George Lucas has always said, but he's never said that you couldn't have a Black female character in Star Wars, or a Black male character in Star Wars. In fact, he's had Black male characters in Star Wars. We've seen them. Yes, they're not main characters, they're secondary characters. Well, I would argue, I feel like Lando was kind of a main character by Return of the Jedi. I'd say secondary in Empire, the main character in Return of the Jedi. I felt like he should have been one of the main characters in the sequels. I think they waited too long to bring Lando back. They didn't really use him anyways. So, yeah, anywho's. That's not okay. It's 2022, guys. I think science fiction should be able to reflect all races and cultures, and it shouldn't just focus mainly on people who are whites. Like, it's ridiculous, and it it's enough, guys. It's enough. You shouldn't be sending somebody messages like that. Like, I was hoping we had learned from the hate that people gave the prequel actors like Ahmed Best and Jake Lloyd and Hayden Christensen. It's seriously, like, you don't have to like the sequels or Obi Wan or Mandalorian and things like that, but to like keep sending hate messages to the cast is ridiculous and uncalled for. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's as simple as that. And if you don't want to watch Star Wars anymore, fine. Don't watch Star Wars anymore because you don't like what's going on. I mean, for a while, that's what I did. After Rise of Skywalker, I didn't watch any Star Wars at all because I was done. I didn't like what was going on. And then I sat down, like in December, I said, I want to watch the prequels. And I sat down and I started watching the prequels. And right after episode 2, I was like, I want to rewatch the Clone Wars. And then I just kept going. And I watched all the way through The Rise of Skywalker. I still can't do the sequel trilogy. And Book of Boba Fett was okay. Solo was okay. But other than that, I watched all of Rebels. Rebels was great. I loved Rebels. I also really liked The Mandalorian. Like, I sat down and actually really watched The Mandalorian. And I thought it was fantastic. And I'm enjoying Kenobi so far. And at the end of the day, like, these are people who are being paid to be this character. They're not the actual character, guys. They're humans. They're real people who are nothing like the people they're portraying. And we should be respectful of that. And with that said, I'm going to get into the review. I'm going to try and go fast since this is later. I just have a couple of nitpicky things to get out of the way. One nitpicky thing was the location of this particular planet. My dad joked and called it the Southern California planet, which I'm assuming they filmed. He thinks they filmed somewhere between Yuma, Arizona, and Anaheim, California, like in that big span of desert. All I want to say is I'm tired of deserts. Like, I'm so tired of an entire planet being a desert. Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to sneeze. But I'm tired of desert planets because, well, you got Tatooine, right? And that's where we were for a little bit in the first episode. And we were in that in the Book of Boba Fett a lot. And then they went there in Mandalorian. And then in the sequel trilogy, there was 2 desert planets, Jakku, and then the one in Rise of Skywalker. So that's 3. And then you have Geonosis, Geonosis is sort of a deserty planet. It's a different type they're all different types of deserts. But I'm tired of desert planets. Like, that's at least 5 desert planets within this galaxy. And I'm just wondering, like, can we, like, I don't know, go back to Naboo or something? I know, like, probably wouldn't be a place to fight, I guess, exciting, or I don't know, I think it would be. The fight scene in The Phantom Menace was fun with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. Like, could you imagine Obi-Wan fighting Vader there? That would have been interesting. Maybe Leia would have learned something about Padme there. Who knows? Or they could have gone anywhere, honestly. I'm tired of desert planets. I guess it's convenient, filming-wise, to film in a desert planet. I don't know. How about another foresty planet like Endor or something? I don't know. I want something different for now. Come on, guys. Think outside the box. The box being limited to deserts. Like, you have that fancy technology now where you can make a location look like anywhere, right? Well, why are we limiting it to a desert? Think outside the, seriously, think outside the box. Anyways, that being said, that was one of my nitpicky things. The other one is, this is something I didn't mention in the first two episodes, but they keep going back and forth between calling Moses Ingram's character Reva and the third sister. I kind of wish they just called her the third sister like they do the other Inquisitors. And then maybe, like, towards the end of whatever her character arc is going to be, whether or not she's continuing past Kenobi, we'll find out. But then maybe then reveal that her name is Reva, and I don't know, do something with that name then, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out. My guess is she's not going to last past Kenobi, which is disappointing because I feel like she should. Sorry. I feel like she should last, or like beyond Kenobi, but be gone before Rebels. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like when they should take out her character officially, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if in Rebels they ever stated something happening to some of the other Inquisitors before Rebels, but then again, we've also, I think she's implying that the Grand Inquisitor is gone, right? Like, because after she stabbed her, I thought he's still here, which that's not a nitpick. That's not like that's a big problem though. If they got rid of the Grand Inquisitor, because then who's that guy in Rebels? Like, I thought Rebels was canon. Is it not? I'm super confused. I don't know. Also, does this show necessarily break canon for Star Wars? Because of the fact, I think there's a couple of facts. One, Leia meeting Obi-Wan leaving Luke, but also the Vader running into Vader and him not knowing that Vader is still around. I don't think anyone ever told him Anakin survived being burned alive. I mean, would you think he did? I personally would have been like, oh, I'd be like Obi-Wan. Oh, well, I thought I got rid of that guy. Not as cheerful as I just did, but you know what I mean. So that to me isn't really canon breaking. I'm assuming he'd find out at some point in time that that big machine looking thing is his former friend, his brother, Anakin, and that Anakin actually did survive being burned on Mustafar. So that to me is a nitpicky. I think we can work around leaving Luke and meeting Leia. I mean, so far it's working. I've been enjoying it. It's not, I don't think it's ruining anything for A New Hope for me, personally. And he's been gone only like, what, a couple of days so far, maybe? Maybe one day, maybe two. Definitely not more than two, I feel like. Although, to be fair, I don't know how long it takes to travel between the planets in Star Wars, but I mean, how long was it for Tatooine to Alderaan? It wasn't that long, was it? At least from what I think. I don't know. I don't know how time works in the Star Wars universe, because I thought like it would be slower or something. But apparently, like, Padme and Anakin in episode 2 were only there for like a day, right? Or so, maybe 2 days. Not even, right? How long were they on Naboo together and they fell in love? I thought it was longer. I was like, wait, really? I'm being tricked over here. I guess I don't know. But I don't think Obi-Wan's been gone from Luke that long, at least from to my knowledge. Maybe he has, but also I feel like Owen is doing a pretty good job keeping Luke safe. Like the way, like yeah, he kind of ran away a little bit to play behind the house, right, where Owen wouldn't find him pretending to be a little pilot. But that's what kids do, and clearly he found him because he didn't go up to him. I lost Luke. Oh no. It's so I think Luke should be okay for a couple days so that Leia can get rescued. And remember in episode 2, Bail Organa is not wrong. Like, Leia is just as important as Luke is on the grand scheme of things. Like, we have to remember that Leia's the backup, you know, and something's already happening to the backup. She's the spare. Luke's the heir, she's the spare. And I don't think Leia being in the show diminishes Luke's legacy or Luke's importance. I think it's just highlighting the fact that the twins together are important. Like Leia really is just as important as Luke. Like, and she might not be important on a Jedi level, but she is for the Republic and on the level of trying to free the galaxy from this tyranny of the Empire, right? So, because she was a big leader in the rebellion in the original trilogy, and obviously George Lucas's original plan was to give Leia a bigger role in the sequel trilogy. So here I don't know if Deborah Chow found that out somehow, or she just is a big Leia fan and she wanted to give Leia a bit more of a role. I'm for it. I love Leia. Fantastic. And she's a great cast. Ding choice. that little girl that's playing Leia, she's amazing. And that's all that really happened in this episode is a lot of the scenes between Leia and Obi-Wan were at the big heart of it. Of course, we got to see Vader get put together, which was super amazing. I never thought I'd get to see that again since they first put him in the suit, right? Put that in quotes, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, because we do see him getting constructed and turning into Vader, right? Anakin's little charred body being turned into Vader, but you don't see the aftermath of that other than that one tiny little shot of the helmet going down in The Empire Strikes Back. That's it. That's all you ever see of the man under the helmet. And so it's nice to see what does it take to become Vader for Anakin now, just to basically survive after, being left by Obi-Wan, So that was really cool to see Obi-Wan meditating and hearing all the lines of dialogue from the prequels was awesome. I'm still holding out for my flashbacks, like them being in their Clone Wars get-up, like live action version of Obi-Wan and Anakin Clone Wars edition would be amazing. I want to see Ewan and Hayden in that, little armor and stuff. I want to see it. Please make it happen. Oh, I just want it so bad. And I think we're being promised it. They were saying flashbacks. I'm hoping it's not just flashbacks to the prequels, like what was already filmed that George Lucas did. I want new content. And I want to see Hayden's face more. Like, don't bring him back and then just have the poor man stuck in the Vader suits. Like, please. But that one, there was at least a little bit of hope for me is when Obi-Wan and Leia are walking through the desert. Deserts. Okay. And he looks out in the distance and he sees, like, a phantom, right? And that phantom is Anakin, or I guess it's a figment of his imagination. He sees, like, episode 3 Anakin, or Anakin before he's just turned into Darth Vader. I mean, because, right, he sees the figure standing there, and then he slowly turns around, and it's Anakin. I was like, oh, that was awesome. This episode was great. I love this episode. So that was one of my favorite. That was a highlight to me was getting to see Anakin again. Even for a split second, we got to actually see Hayden's face for the second time. Although this time not covered in prosthetics, right? Because obviously he's covered in prosthetics when he's in the Bacta tank. Because Anakin's all scarred up. And another thing I wanted to discuss. Oh, that mole-looking dude. Didn't really care for that guy. Although it does show that, not everybody hated the Empire, which I thought was interesting. I think they might have done that in Rebels. Like, there were some people that did like the Empire and thought the Empire was great. But it was interesting to see it in live action for the first time, potentially. Not that I don't remember it being in anything else. Like, I don't think anyone in Solo was like, yeah, the Empire. But I thought that was a nice touch, because it is important to acknowledge that I think for some people, the failings of the Republic meant that the Empire was better in their eyes. Like, there's got to be people out there, like, just civilians that do appreciate the Empire. And I think that was an important side to see, even though it's very brief and he's not in the whole episode. It does kind of highlight a bigger picture that, for some people, the Empire isn't evil and that the Republic was the one that was wrong. So I thought that was interesting. Overall, I didn't really care for the, look of the creature. I don't know. That was just me. And then I think let's do the one scene with the stormtroopers, right? Leia and Obi-Wan are pretending to be father and daughter, and he accidentally calls her by her actual name and not the made-up name that she had chosen for herself. And he starts talking about Padme again, which is amazing to hear him mention Padme again. And then it's the conversation after the stormtroopers leave that I kind of wanted to discuss. I think a lot of people are taking a specific line that he tells her out of context. I don't know if you guys know this, but there are people who do ship Obi-Wan and Padme together. There are people that can't understand why Padme loves Anakin. And that don't, they always go, there's Obi-Wan, he's right there. Like, at the end of the day, your view of what's attractive is subjective. So clearly Padme is attracted to Anakin, not Obi-Wan, and we can respect that for her. Like, I think both are cuties, just throwing this out there. You and Hayden are very handsome men. I'm going to throw that out there. Like, I don't see an issue with their looks. I also know that Satine, to me, is the only woman that Obi-Wan ever really loved, canon-wise. I do know in Legends there was another character, but I don't think Obi-Wan ever really loved Padme romantically. I think he loved her like a sister. I really do. And when he tells Leia, when Leia asks him, this is what the conversation entails, Leia's asking him if he's her father, her real father, right? Her birth father. Because she's realized that every time he mentions that she reminds him of someone, he's referring to her birth mother, I don't want to say real mother, though. I don't want to say real father either. Like, birth, to me, Bail and Breha Organa are her real parents. I want to throw that out there, guys. Like, they really are her real parents. Just as much as Anakin and Padme are. Like, she's got four parents, okay? She's got 2 moms, 2 dads. Leia has a lot of parents. Poor Luke over here is, well, Owen and Beru are his parents. Like, yes, he calls them uncle and aunt, but they're his parents too. They're the ones that really raised him, and they're just as much as his parents as they are, as Padme and Anakin are too. And we need to acknowledge the people that really did take care of both Luke and Leia and raise them in place of Anakin and Padme, and not diminish what they've done by saying that Anakin and Padme are their real parents. They're their birth parents. Now, obviously, she's 10, and maybe doesn't, like, to her, she hasn't really truly grasped that distinction yet. So that's why she said real. Um, and that could be a possibility, right? Like, and that's okay. But I do want to say that Bail Organa is just as much as Leia's real father as Anakin is. But she's realized that she's being compared to her birth mother, right? And that's why she asked, "Are you to Obi-Wan? Are you my real father?" And he replies that I wish I could tell you that I were. That doesn't mean he had the hots for Padme. That doesn't mean he secretly wishes that he was the one running around with Padme behind the Jedi Council's back. Right? And technically behind Anakin's back, too. Because he does very much still love Satine. But also, he loves Anakin and Padme. He loves them as siblings. They're his siblings. Now, why is he saying he wishes he could tell? Well, look at what happened to Anakin. He really can't tell her the truth. And it would be just so simple. Yes, I'm your real father. Right? If he could just tell her that. But he can't. Because not only is that a lie, but the real truth, I think, would have been harder for Leia to hear, right? Well, your father was this fantastic, great Jedi, wonderful pilot, my best friend, we were brothers, and then, the Emperor, Palpatine, was manipulating him and groomed him, and he turned to the dark side of the Force, became a Sith, went and murdered everybody, and then I had to go and fight him, and I chopped off all his limbs and left him to burn on this lava planet. Could you imagine him telling that 10-year-old that? That would have been horrible. So I don't think personally it meant that he was in love with Padme, okay? It's just him trying to ease this burden that I think Leia has. She wants to know where she comes from, which I think a lot of people want to know, especially when they're adopted. They want to know, well, why was I given up? Where did I come from? And all these feelings that she's probably having right now. So, just thought I'd clear that up. I feel like it's not, Obi-Dal is not a thing. You can ship them all you want, but canon-wise, Obi-Dal is not a thing. And then we get to the big fight at the end, the confrontation with Darth Vader. Like, holy cow, he was brutal. He was savage. Like, he really was. Like, going through the town and just picking off individuals and, like, choking them and snapping their necks. Geez, like, this Vader is angry. He is so angry. Like, I think by the time the original trilogy starts, I don't think he's as angry as he is now. He's just angry because this is only 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. I think he really is going to be very angry. I think it's going to take him a while to kind of cool down, so to speak. I still think he's angry in the originals, but not like this. Like, the way he's going after Obi-Wan through these innocent people, that was shocking. But I liked it. For Vader, I liked it for Vader and his character. It worked so well. And what also worked was the fight at the end. Yes, Obi-Wan is weak. Of course he's going to be weak. He hasn't been practicing his lightsaber skills. He's watching Luke, sure. But at the end, I think at some point in those 10 years, something shifted in Obi-Wan where he's just given up. And in a lot of ways, and he's using Luke, like watching Luke, as an excuse not to do certain things. And I do think he's weak, and he should be. Vader should be stronger than Obi-Wan at this point, and 100% should be dominating the fight and winning the fight. At least this first one. We'll see about the second one. I think the second one he should lose, right? Obi-Wan should snap back and find a way to beat Vader in that second fight. I'm hoping that's in the last episode. because I don't want it to happen right now. It's too soon. We need some time. We gotta build it up, right? And then him dragging, like, Anakin's petty, man. Anakin's petty. He's a diva. He's dramatic, and you see it there when he lights whatever it was on fire. I bet you there was like oil or something on the ground, and he lit it on fire, and he's dragging Obi-Wan through the fire and burning Obi-Wan, like, drama queen right there, right? He's so dramatic, but it's also, it shows how vindictive he can be too. Like, I joke about calling him a drama queen, but he's being very vindictive, right? He's got this grand master plan of revenge against this person who used to be his brother, or, you know, for Anakin, I think, a father figure as well. And it's just crazy. I was like, what? That was really shocking to see, because I wasn't sure if they were gonna, you know, that imagery right there, like, that's pretty bold for what the Disney Star Wars has been doing so far. But this episode was fantastic. It really was. I mean, what time is it now? It's almost 9:00 here. 3 hours. 3 hours until episode 4. I gotta watch it now. Like, put it on now. No one will know. But can't wait. Seriously, can't wait. I am so excited. This episode was great. Other than, like I said, I had nitpicky things. Whereas if you were to ask me, like, to talk about the sequel trilogy, we'd be here for more than 30 minutes. I'm telling you, hours, and it's not nitpicky stuff. Okay, so, but this is nitpicky. I want something different than deserts. Alderaan was nice to see. I didn't mention Alderaan, so that's at least nice. And that, I think it's Daiyu is the planet. Excuse me. They were on before. So it's not that every planet's a desert, but it'd be nice to have more variety, I guess. But then again, I don't know what type of planets are out there in other galaxies across the universe. I just know what's in our own galaxy. Not even our own galaxy, actually. I take that back. I know what's in our solar system. That's about it. Within the Milky Way galaxy, within the universe. So maybe there are, like, hundreds of desert planets. I could be just too nitpicky. You know what, we'll see what happens in these later episodes and see if we get to visit other fun locations, and maybe we'll see. So I'll see you in episode 4, guys. Bye!